Right, today we have Professor Simon Kingham, who is giving a What If Wednesday lecture next Wednesday on June the 11th. Simon, tell me about cycling, especially Christchurch. It should be the safest city in New Zealand to cycle. Is it? And what can we do to make it better as we rebuild the city?
Historically, Christchurch has been known as a cycling city. Its natural geography means that it should be perfect for cycling. But at the moment, it's not perceived or seen to be safe by a lot of people who currently cycle. And more importantly, it's not seen to be safe by people who choose not to cycle at the moment.
Right, now the City Council is going to put some money into making cycling safer. How are they going to do this, and will this link in with the suburbs?
So what they plan, so we've got Sarah's Central City Plan includes a slow core and cycleways in the centre, and the City Council, as you say, has just announced, or a number of months ago announced, the $70 million for 12 cycle routes, which will take people from the suburbs into the city. But there'll also be some that will go around the city, a little bit like the Orbiter, I guess.
Right.
And they'll be physically separated cycleways, so they will be designed to make people feel safe and keep people away from traffic.
We're talking like curb and channeling?
Some of them will be that. There'll be a mixture of things, but they'll be designed to prevent people from being in close proximity to traffic.
So when it's all finished and done and dusted, this will be a much safer city to cycle in, and more people will be encouraged to cycle?
Absolutely. So if you're on those routes, it will be fantastic. So if you're near the routes and they're going to where you want, it'll be great. And it will make people feel safer. And we know from research all around the world that you put a bit of infrastructure in and it increases the number of people cycling, so you don't have to have a full network. Now, of course, we'll still have gaps. So there'll still be parts of town where you won't have good infrastructure, and it'll still be not ideal for people trying to get to those bits of infrastructure. So there'll still be work to be done, and hopefully this will just be the start of something, not the end.
You've been to some cities around the world where cycling is certainly encouraged and it's really growing. Can you tell me some cities that are fantastic for cycling?
The examples people talk about most are places like Copenhagen, which upwards of 40% of journeys are now by bicycle. Cities in the Netherlands are also doing really well, but there are new cities that are on the up. So places like Bogota in Colombia is great. New York City, centre of New York, has done amazing things where they've put good infrastructure in the middle. I went to Adelaide recently, and they're starting to do some really good things. And so some new cities are emerging. And the clear message is, and what they're all demonstrating is, if you put good infrastructure in, people want to cycle. People are choosing to cycle.
So Simon, what about high school students and families? Will Christchurch be safe in the future for biking?
For kids, it's even more important because their parents don't feel that they're safe to cycle. So it's everyone. It's people going to the shops, it's people going to work, people go out for dinner.
Simon, how many people, or what percentage of people in Christchurch cycle at the moment?
Well, the recent census showed that we've actually bucked the trend and we've increased the number of people cycling to work. So it was 6.5% in 2006. It's actually gone up to 7%. So it had been steadily declining for a number of years, and we're back on the upward, which is great. Fantastic. And that's one of the highest rates in the country. And it's comparable to many of the cities around the world where people are making real efforts to increase cycling.
Fantastic.